Squid's back.
Yellow.
Hey, Patrick, Squid's home, and we're going to make sure he's greeted by his two best friends.
Oh, great. Who are they?
Us. Let's go. Hello and welcome back to the Two Things That Will Not Work podcast. I'm your host, as always, Marcus Chronicle, and I'm here with...
Neon Greystone.
And we are back with episode 3 of our podcast, where we will be going over the episodes Jellyfishing and Plankton. I don't need this tab open anymore. So, let's go ahead and get into it. Why did it reload the page? Okay. So, our synopsis for Jellyfishing. When SpongeBob and Patrick find Squidward is recovering from a bicycling accident, they decide to take Squidward jellyfishing with them so that he can have his best day ever. Good intentions notwithstanding, SpongeBob and Patrick thrust poor Squidward into the far more hazardous rigors of their favorite pastime. That was a very wordy thing to say, they go jellyfishing.
They, didn't know the show as much early on, I think.
Yeah.
I do wonder who they had write those back in the day.
I don't know. This is on IMDb, so who knows when they were written. These were interesting episodes, but before we really get into it, we have our episode game.
Indeed.
So I did not write down the things from last episode, but I can just scroll back over to them. Last time we had the clues fire, stoplight, and mailman. Do you remember what episode we had?
I didn't, but I believe I know the answer.
What's your guess?
Would that be procrastination?
Correct. This time, our new episode, we have the clue stupid, peas, and music note. We had this episode idea like 2 weeks ago when we went to dinner and then just could not get around to recording this podcast.
Yeah, this is hopefully the longest gap we'll have.
It's been like 3-4 weeks since we recorded the last one.
Yeah,
it's been because life got complicated real quick in November.
It has been a very busy month.
It started. I was too exhausted the first week because I just had a hell week. And the next week, you were exhausted for whatever reason. And then you've not even been here this week.
Yeah, I think I was sick the week after.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just been one thing after another. But we made time today.
Yeah, but we're here and we're ugly and proud, so.
Yeah. I actually, you were talking earlier about the Bob's Burgers intro being so much louder than the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Which, for whatever reason, that reminded me of this video. I think I might have sent it to you. I found a video on YouTube of someone talking about how the SpongeBob credits used to scare them as a kid.
Huh.
And when I saw that video, I went, how? Why? I don't get it.
I mean, the theme is a little out there, a little eerie, maybe?
Yeah, it was the credits theme.
Yeah.
Like when the episode is over. And they explained in the video, it was like they would watch SpongeBob super late at night.
Yeah.
And then, the credits would come on at like 1 a.m. or whatever. They're in bed watching something much later than they should because their parents didn't care. And just for whatever reason, when it was dark, they were under the covers, and that would just come on their old CRT. It would just paralyze them in fear.
So, I was never paralyzed with fear, but you describing that, actually as a kid, I had the DVDs. So, the show didn't come on when we were a kid at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah, that was probably the same thing with them.
But
they just had a DVD.
I had the season 1 and 2 on DVD. And that happened to me several times. I'd have the DVD playing, I'd go to bed, I'd wake up to piss or something at 2 or 3 in the morning, and if the credits were all that was on, for some reason it it wasn't scary, but it was eerie. It was creepy to me,
Yeah.
and I would make sure like I wouldn't leave the blanket or the covers until the next episode had come on because something about that just it made me unnerved.
And that's the thing, like, you talking about intros just reminded me of that. And I thought, I never had that experience. Like, if the credits were on, I went, whatever, next episode.
No, it creeped me out as a kid. I remember that now. Those were eerie.
I never had that. It's like, there were definitely, like, DVDs, like, there were things I didn't super love watching, like, late at night. But they were supposed to have a much creepier, eerie feel. But I never had that with SpongeBob.
It was just the outro credit. Well, that's the thing. As soon as you said the credit, I knew it was the outro.
Yeah.
Because it's a little eerie as a kid.
Yeah, so I was curious at your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
But if I didn't send you that video, if I can find it again, I will send it to you.
I'd watch it.
But, yeah. I wrote that down for this episode specifically. One, because I would not remember for another episode. And two, I spent the entire time going through both our episodes today, just going, do I have any story about these episodes from when I was a kid? And I had nothing.
I had no relation to these other than that the episode, the next one, Plankton, creeped me out as a kid a bit.
Yeah. We'll get into, like, Plankton
in
a bit.
But as far as jellyfishing, the most connection I have to this is the...
Firmly grasping.
That's the only joke that's the only thing.
I wrote it down. Firmly grasp it is maybe the first SpongeBob meme I encountered in the wild.
Yeah. I mean, I'd hear people say it.
Yeah. It was that or someone going, today's opposite day.
Yeah, well, that and fun.
I didn't hear people quote fun a lot.
I had F is for front, like, it was, I get like a gay joke or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I never heard people, like, doing that.
I had a couple people on my bus who would do it.
But every once in a while, you'd hear someone go, firmly grasp it.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things. That might be the first SpongeBob meme I've ever heard. It might be the first SpongeBob meme.
It might have been.
Is that the... I can't remember a meme from, like, the previous episodes.
I don't think a single scene from the first few episodes have become a popular meme.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's just one of the things that stuck out to me. You mentioned it a few times, but while we were watching the episode, early on in Jellyfishing, they have a bunch of backgrounds that are a little different.
Yeah, like, I just picked up on one and it's not unique to Jellyfish Fields, but early on the backgrounds would be more creative, more vibrant.
Yeah, that was something I loved early on.
It's such a unique look.
They use the unique backgrounds almost as SpongeBob's wallpaper.
Yeah, like
that was something that I loved about this episode in particular.
Every time in this episode when they're getting ready, and I'd like to talk about them getting ready in a minute, but every time they're getting ready, it cuts to a unique background image or pattern, and then in Jellyfish Fields, the light it's all hand drawn, and it's got a charm to it.
Yeah, the episode. When they're in SpongeBob's house, it is also really, really dark for a while.
It is, and it lends to the aura.
It's such a different... It very much has a different feel, where they're just sitting in the dark. Like, I'm... In my room, I usually have my light on now. Yeah. The last place, I didn't do that very... Like, if the light was on, whatever. If the light was off, whatever. I didn't go out of my way to turn it on or off. But just for whatever reason, in that room, I always have my light on. I don't know why. But
on the topic of the like colors and backgrounds, one thing that stuck out to me for this episode, it reminded me that they used colors a lot more uniquely early on. Like for instance, and it's a small thing, is coral. In the show, coral's normally a purple color. Yeah. But early on, coral would be purple, blue, or orange all the time.
It'd be a little vibrant.
It would. Well, at Squidward, in Squidward's house, there were two standing orange, purple corals, and then by his door he had the generic purple one.
I think Squidward usually has, just purple.
It is, but in this episode, because they color them differently, it was orange. And then we've seen blue coral in the early seasons, and it's just... Yeah. It had a more, brighter color palette.
Going back to, some background stuff. When they first open the door and are standing there waiting for the jellyfish to come by, if you look behind them, SpongeBob's roof is just black with that blue like netting. I love that look so much.
It's not the only time we've seen netting up above on his roof. I can't remember why.
But I think it's just the only time we see it that specific color.
It is, because it's dark in that scene. But yeah, look, back to them getting ready. I loved that as a kid, and they loved playing that clip. Like, Nick would play that clip all the time, but they were sitting there, and they're playing a game. They were like, they're sitting in the dark, about to get ready to go jellyfishing. And it's a game, they're just doing it for the fun of it. And then they have this whole scene, and I'll get back to you on whether or not it was actually what was actually happening. But they had this whole scene in their minds of how cool them getting ready, like it's a superhero thing. They're getting their weapons, their suits, SpongeBob puts on his dorky glasses, and then they step outside, and we see them the way they see themselves. From that down angle, we look up at them, and they've got these straight faces, these stiff poses, and they're like, we are men, we are cool. And then immediately just to go, la 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 la, dorky as hell. Yeah. And it's that juxtaposition. It's fun. They're kids, but they're not. But they are.
Yeah. Yeah. The juxtaposition of super serious and super silly is a very unique thing with a comedy if you can do it right.
Well, it's super common in early SpongeBob.
Yeah. You mentioned it a bit. You stopped and asked me when they were getting ready, if that was happening in their heads or actually happening.
Yeah, is there a bit of a ludonarrative dissonance there?
I don't think so. I just always assume that is in SpongeBob's house.
You that whole area where they slide down the poles, and they have this one room dedicated to just the net in this little shrine in the dark.
Yes, I 100% believe SpongeBob has that room.
We don't see it again, to my knowledge, and I'm going to, in my head, that was them, that's what they saw.
I have to believe that it's just a background door in his library that leads to his garage.
I would love to see his garage, him just working on something.
Yeah. We do see it a couple times.
We see the exterior shot. We've seen inside it maybe once.
I think it was in the swimming pool episode.
Maybe. Well, then in the first 4 to 5 seasons, we see it once.
Yeah, we don't see it very often, but we have seen it before. I will point out in the them getting the jellyfishing nets, they already have 3 jellyfishing nets. I never thought about it as a kid, but that third one's definitely for Squidward.
It was. Well, he invented jellyfishing.
The first thing they do after leaving the house is ask Squidward to come join them.
Come play with them.
Yeah. So they definitely had a third one just for Squidward.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They're adults. Steven Hillenburg wanted SpongeBob to be an adult, but they aren't afraid to play. It's fun, and they got ready to go play this game, and they asked in their heads friend if he wanted to come play with them. Squidward going, we are adults, went, nah.
Yeah. I was also thinking about this a bit ago. When Squidward does show up, and he's going on the whole spiel of I would love to do it with my 2 best friends. Do you think that was one of the first times he really interacted with Patrick?
So apparently it has that on the wiki, and we haven't done a fun fact yet, but it has that on the wiki as this is the first, in this episode, we see that Squidward doesn't know Patrick's name, implying this is their first meeting. That is not their first meeting.
It is not their first meeting.
But it is early. I could say early in their relationship.
I think it's fair to say that they might not really know each other yet.
No, he knows SpongeBob, and Squidward knows SpongeBob, and they know each other vaguely through that, and being neighbors.
Yeah. I could believe that Patrick knows Squidward, because Patrick's more extroverted. But
also, Patrick is early on, he picks up on things.
Yeah. Do you think he likes us? Do you think he hates us?
Maybe he doesn't like us.
He said we're his best friend.
Yeah, I made a note for that. But yeah, this is probably pretty early on because he doesn't hate them as much either yet. It's a mild annoyance this time.
Yeah, He's being nice to them.
He's being nice, and he spared their feelings somewhat.
He is politely declining.
He is.
More so than he needs to.
And also, well, again, at this point, they're just slightly too friendly neighbors.
Yeah.
But Squidward going bike riding, that was a common thing early on. We've seen him bicycle and recumbent bike in multiple episodes. We've also seen him power walking in a later episode.
Yeah.
So, like, Squidward does stuff like that, apparently.
Yeah. When we get to a later episode, and you're going to know the episode right when I say this, we need to buy some canned bread.
Got to for that. But, yeah, I was going to say, on Patrick's note here, Patrick picks up on things in the early episode, and up to this point, and continuing on in the first 2 seasons-ish, 3 maybe, SpongeBob goes to Patrick for advice, for, like, wisdom, you know. He considers Patrick smarter than him.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a slightly older person he goes to for advice. This time, Patrick goes, maybe he doesn't like us, and SpongeBob completely disregards it. And this is probably in the first 3 or 4 seasons the only time Patrick is right about that to SpongeBob, and he disregards it.
This is definitely an interesting episode for what it is.
I love this episode. I hate what it might have inspired later, because this is the first real, to use a term, Squidward torture episode.
That was my last note for this episode. This is the first one, and Squidward did nothing wrong.
So, he didn't do nothing wrong, but he was over-punished. He was arrogant, because he didn't politely decline and drive... He politely declined and drove off talking shit about them under his breath.
Yeah, but that's fine.
No, it's not. He's not being rude. He's being arrogant. Yeah. And then later, he tortures the jellyfish a little bit. Granted, it stung him for almost no reason.
Yeah.
But he got more than he deserved comeuppance-wise. Especially with the scalding soup and the stabbing through his hand. And
like, if everyone had just left Squidward alone, this episode wouldn't have happened.
No, he didn't start the fight. But there's that, and so Squidward gets way overpunished for almost nothing. And then SpongeBob sitting there in his chair, waiting for Squidward to get back, staring at a photograph that Squidward took with him. And Squidward was in the photo willingly. He looked at the camera, but he was not happy. Yeah. But SpongeBob is looking at this because Squidward was polite to him the one time. And I think that inspired his, like, creepy fetish with Squidward later.
To be fair, that was probably something taken for work.
It very well might have been that he got a copy of.
Yeah.
But SpongeBob is looking longingly at this photo, waiting for Squidward to get back. And I think they might have took that and run with it later. It's not this episode's fault, though.
Before we get too far away from it, when Squidward is, riding off and doing everything, I noticed in the background, when the jellyfish is flying, that because it's the same shot, it keeps flying by the same rock that's floating like an inch in the air above the ground level. And I just thought that was just really funny.
So, one thing I've noticed on these, because these were made for older TVs, like CRTs, which commonly had a small bit of overscan, a lot of shows, and I've seen it on a lot of... I haven't caught it on SpongeBob, will have stuff layered, and you can see the layers overlapping on, like, HD remasters, on the corners and bottom. It is, it's cool. It doesn't fill up the screen fully because it didn't need to back then.
Yeah.
And this show was fairly, like, low budget for the first couple seasons.
Oh, no, we should be looking out for I have a background cell of SpongeBob.
Oh, yeah.
We should be looking for that episode.
We should.
Because it's the Krusty Krab at night.
I love the Krusty Krab at night. We saw that in one of the episodes we watched today.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it was a season 1 episode, but I could be wrong.
So, staying on topic a little bit here with the Squidward and them. This time, I love this episode. It is not this episode's fault what happened with the Squidward, SpongeBob, Patrick later.
Yeah.
But in this episode, they kind of catch on when they're bothering Squidward a little bit. And Squidward can't even talk. He spends most of this episode mute.
Yeah.
And just, we hear him laughing or breathing shrilly. But SpongeBob catches on that Patrick is burning Squidward.
Yep.
And I don't think Patrick catches on that SpongeBob is bothering Squidward, but Patrick gets bored.
When it cut to Patrick and Squidward standing there, I could see Patrick just being a little annoyed with SpongeBob as well.
Well, SpongeBob interrupted him and then proceeded to make them stand there while he licked his lips for 30 seconds. Patrick was a little annoyed. But then, later, when... At the end, and I don't know if you want to talk about anything else before we get too far to the end.
Yeah, I have some stuff that we've jumped over a little bit. I'll run through them real quick. When we first get to, the lines that we did earlier, when Squidward's coming back, I noticed on SpongeBob's red chair that there's one of those little blow-up ports on the top of it where you could just, open it and blow air into it.
Because his chair is inflatable, technically.
Yeah, and I've never thought about that. Because I just always thought the back was like a static thing. It wasn't just a blow-up chair. But that's what it is.
It is an inflatable pool chair.
Yeah.
That I guess they filled with water.
The specific scene we did is a gag that you see every once in a while where two people are talking on the phone and it pulls back and they're just in the same room next to each other.
Yeah, he's in SpongeBob's kitchen.
I love that gag. Every time I see it, I always think it's funny. I always love the gag. And I love getting to see more of that.
I do enjoy the gag.
I couldn't tell you the episode, but Drake and Josh did it too.
Yeah, where Josh is in the kitchen.
No, where they're...
Oh, yeah, they're
talking,
both in their
and
room.
Then they just... No, they're downstairs.
Oh.
They're talking, and then they just go, yeah, we need to do so... And then they look over, and they're just on the other side of the same wall.
I think there's one where they're both in their room upstairs.
So, I don't know.
But yeah, it's a fun gag.
I love that gag. It's such a fun one to just pull out.
It is.
And the last one to get back to where we were. Do you know what episode happens before this that comes later?
Episode happened before this.
This episode happens before one that there's a later episode that canonically would be before this episode.
What would it be?
Christmas Who. Because Christmas Who is the first time they learn about Christmas. And when Squidward gets home, Patrick yells, "Merry Christmas."
I did not catch that.
Yeah.
I did not see, I didn't catch it.
I kind of went, Christmas Who has already happened. That was the first time. So I had to make a note of that, because that's a Season 2 episode that's technically already happened.
It is. The stuff like that is neat.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Oh, also when they were feeding him soup, it hit me. Squidward got Best Day Ever episode first.
He did get Best Day Ever before SpongeBob.
It happened like 3 seasons earlier. Best Day Ever was a Season 4 episode?
Yeah, it was. I think it was the finale, or very close to the end of Season 4.
Yeah, I can't remember. I remember it was like a huge thing.
It was.
And then it was it was like a 15-minute episode.
Well, I think it might have been the 100th episode or something.
I don't think it was the 100th episode.
I can't remember. But yeah, it was a very big deal.
Because isn't the first 100 like just the first 3 seasons?
It might be, because this season had 22 or 23 episodes, I think, if you count the segments together.
Yeah, I think the Best Day Ever was just like a random episode in Season 4.
It might have been that Nick just decided to promote the hell out of and turn into something.
That one should not have been like a single length episode, but we're getting off topic.
Yeah. In a rigged voting contest.
Yeah.
I can't wait to discuss stuff like that when we get there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to jump ahead, because I don't want to do every episode of Season 4. That's too much, but we could do Best Day Ever.
Well, we've got to do some of Season 4.
We'll do episodes in Season 4. We're just not...
Naughty Nautical Neighbors and stuff. That's a bad one, but that's pretty much a sequel episode to this one.
Naughty Nautical Neighbors is the next episode.
Is it? What's the one where...
Good Neighbors?
Yeah, Good Neighbors.
Yeah.
That's pretty much a sequel to this.
Yeah. But
Yeah, so, did you have anything else for?
I don't have anything else until after we get out of Jellyfish Fields.
So, what I was saying is, at the end, I love. So, after, fun fact, it's a Jaws parody for the Queen Jellyfish, and I do think they don't use the term Queen Jellyfish in this episode.
Actually, I do have one thing in Jellyfish Fields, but you get back to what you're doing.
What I was saying was, their self-awareness in this one a little bit, which is completely lacking later. You know, like everybody loves, SpongeBob will stare at something eating Gary and go, Gary, you put Puffy Fluffy down.
Yeah.
But in this episode, they walk out the next day. They saw shit. They saw Squidward get burned. Yeah. Also, they were in Jellyfish Fields. I'm assuming Squidward needed an ambulance called the way he came back. So they had to call an ambulance to pick up their friend because of what they did the day he got out of the hospital. Yep. And they walk out, and they just look at each other, and they're smiling. But it's like a half smile, and you can see both of their eyes are down. And the way the voice actors do, it's great. They know yesterday sucked.
Let me ask you something. How the hell did they get hurt that badly? Because they were fine when Squidward got zapped, and then we cut to the next day, and they're just covered
So I'm
in
assuming
bandages.
either they were in a crowd of small jellyfish, either that, or like just the force of that thing being within feet of Squidward burned them.
I also want to jump back just a tiny bit. When, after they do the firmly grasp it, and they point out the jellyfish for Squidward to go after, it pulls out to show it and them, and you can just clearly see Squidward just looking at his hand, just his eyes are pointed at it. As they're going, go after it, Squidward, go get it, you can do this, you got it! And he's just staring at his impaled hand.
Yeah.
And I thought that was super just comical.
Yeah.
Because it cuts back to that in the small shot and he's staring forward, but in the wide shot he's not.
Yeah. Fun fact on the website said it actually swapped hands a couple times in the episode. Which one? I didn't catch it.
It did. When he catches the jellyfish, he's hitting it with his other hand.
Yeah, with his right, but Patrick impaled his left.
Yeah, I saw him just bapping the queen jellyfish, and I went, that's the wrong hand.
But I loved how self-aware they were. They knew, and they were trying even there to cheer each other up, like, it wasn't that bad.
It was bad.
And then they apologized to Squidward when he gets home. First thing they did was, they're sorry about yesterday.
Yeah.
And they brought him a gift, and he opens it, and they go, do you think he's still mad?
Yep, he's still mad.
But it's the way they say, they're not even, they know they deserve whatever's coming.
Yeah,
because they hurt him in a way that he has not been hurt before.
Yeah, it was definitely different.
Yeah, they looked at each other, we fucked up.
I also want to point out, when he gets home, he has that IV bag filled with...
Yeah, the green IV that goes nowhere.
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. It's not hooked up to anything. What's it for?
I don't know, man. I'm hoping it wasn't as bad, maybe, as they thought, and he was just like, if it looks this bad, they'll leave me alone.
They did not.
They did not. They had the best of intentions, and it goes awry.
It very quickly goes awry. But yeah,
it's such a charming energy, man. Like, it's hard not to just smile watching it.
I really wish I had just one random story from when I was. I remember watching it as a kid.
I've seen it.
Growing up in my house. But just never anything interesting going on around it.
Well, and again, as a kid, you watch it on TV. So unless you were sitting on the channel waiting, a lot of the time you miss the first couple minutes of a lot of episodes.
Yeah,
and it's like
I mean, a lot of times you just sit and watch Nick, and then
you would.
Come on.
But I mean, as a kid, I'd do other things while watching TV too.
Yeah, but
this episode it's good. It's funny. It's clearly had an impact based on later, but it's not an episode you have stories about.
Yeah, I have a very clear memory as a kid playing Shaolin Showdown, the day of my cousin's birthday party.
Yeah, you've told me
PS2
that.
Shaolin Showdown game. Just sitting on the floor playing the game, and just in the middle of a level, I hear a rock hit and just smash the shit out of the glass sliding door that was 2 feet from me, and
Yeah.
it just spiderwebbed out. I was so freaked out, but luckily, it was dual paned, so it only broke one window. But, if that had gone through both windows, it probably would have hit me.
That would have been interesting.
And if that had happened during jellyfishing, at least I could have that.
So this is the story about how you don't have a story about this episode.
Yes. It's just there's nothing interesting about this episode behind the scenes for me or you.
No, and there's not even any interesting fun facts other than the little Jaws sting.
Yeah.
It's a perfectly good episode. It's charming as hell.
It is a fantastic episode. It's just...
It's not that memorable.
Yeah.
Clearly it hadn't firmly grasped it.
Yeah.
Also, do you think, last small tangent, the episode where he gets covered in cement later, like season 7,
Yeah.
kind of, it's got to be pulling from this, right?
Possibly.
Because SpongeBob and Patrick are, like, babysitting him, torturing him at the same time, and he can't talk or move.
The thing. I think that's season 5.
It might be. But, like, it's got to be pulling from this.
Yeah.
I love how we keep saying things like we don't have the internet. Well, it feels weird to Google things while you're, My guess is 7.
Season 4.
Dang! The show went downhill quickly.
Here's the thing. I remember watching that one a lot.
I remember watching it. I didn't watch it a lot.
Yeah, but season 7 is like after the point where I kind of fell off. But the thing was something that I remember being on all the time. So I saw it a lot as a kid.
The episode I saw where I went, think I'm growing out of this show. I'd had episodes I didn't love before, but where I went, I'm growing out of this. Was it was way later. It was the one where Squidward has to clean up Bikini Bottom.
Keep Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, that one. I was watching that at my grandmother's house on a Saturday. The morning it aired, and I watched it and went, like, halfway through, I went, I'm not enjoying this. And I don't think I've enjoyed this show for a while. And I think I'm good for a while.
I remember you telling me in high school that you were thinking you didn't like SpongeBob anymore.
Yeah, and it was that episode's fault. That was the moment.
I remember you were so dejected with the way SpongeBob was.
Yeah.
You were retroactively going, the first 3 seasons weren't good. You're wrong.
I was hurt.
You were hurt bad.
Everyone's had a different moment. The Pie Guy had Sponge Hinge. Mr. Enter had Splinter.
What was it? What was the episode that you were done with SpongeBob, like the principal and the pauper? Are you sure about that?
Oh, God. It really is that for me. Everybody has one, apparently.
I don't know what mine is.
If we get to it, it might be earlier than mine. If we get to it, you've got to call it out. Like, oh, that's the one.
I'm not. It's the first one I remember going, I'm sick of seeing this was Mauna Loa, but that was because it was played so.
It's a very mid episode, and it got way overplayed. Yeah,
but it's probably like a season 6 or 7 episode.
We would have been like 9-ish at the time, 9, 10.
About 10-ish, 11. Yeah, we saw Truth or Square live. Like
we did, and
the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah,
we were 11 at that point, or I was 11. You might have still been 10.
I think it aired. It aired late in the year, actually. Yeah, I might have been. I'm not sure. But yeah, moving on to Plankton. I assume you have a synopsis.
Yeah. SpongeBob falls victim to a scheme by the evil Plankton, Mr. Krabs' minuscule arch rival with the Napoleon Complex. I don't know why it says the Napoleon Complex.
He reinvented it.
Napoleon Complex.
He reinvented it himself.
Plankton hides down SpongeBob's head and takes control of his brain. SpongeBob finds that he must fight his own body to prevent himself from handing over the secret Krabby Patty recipe to Plankton. Do you want to start with the trivia that I know has to be on there?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say that this is the first appearance of Plankton, even though I just did, because it is, and obviously. Karen and Plankton, even though she's not called Karen in this episode.
Yeah, she's not Karen.
If you've seen anyone talk about the first couple seasons, you've heard this.
Yeah.
Did you know that Sandy was the first appearance, Like, the first appearance ones are weird, but yeah. Interesting fun facts are, this is the first time Patrick's house is hollow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the other times it's been flat, the other episodes. First time we see inside and it's hollow.
Okay.
This is also obviously, this is also the first appearance of, blah. What was it? No, not reading that. That's lame. They play with Plankton's size. Okay. This one is apparently supposed to have a deleted scene, according to the commentary on Season 1, where we see Squidward lying in bed fully naked.
Interesting.
That is on the Season 1 commentary for this episode.
Okay.
So that's fun. Also, the first appearance of a golden spatula.
Yep.
And this is not the first appearance of Doug Lawrence in the show. His first appearance was the previous episode, where he voiced a couple background fish.
Yep. Does it actually not have the...
It does not say who he voiced.
Okay, so the trivia that I was expecting was that should have been on there is Plankton was supposed to be a one-off.
I knew that. It doesn't say it on here though. Yeah, Plankton was supposed to be a one-off, and they loved him.
I assumed that would be on there so much I didn't write it down.
I knew that going in.
Yeah, because that's like been popping around for a while that he was supposed to be a one-off, but Doug Lawrence just made Plankton.
Doug Lawrence loved working with the cast. The cast loved working with Doug Lawrence, and they loved his performance as the character.
Yeah.
So they just went, you want to come back.
Yep.
Also not on here, because it's, I guess, character trivia, not this trivia, is Doug Lawrence writes a lot of the Plankton plots.
He does. I know something outside the Krusty Krab when we first got there. There was a barrel parked outside.
Yeah, there was also a boat with a top, which we don't see a lot of.
Yeah.
Like a full-on, it looked like a small yacht.
Yeah. Yeah, there were interesting things. I think barrels were supposed to be like some form of transit originally.
I mean, that's how Luffy started.
I don't think they ever appear again.
A lot of stuff doesn't appear later. The boats became uniform later.
Yeah.
But early on, there were hundreds of different boats.
Yeah, there were a bunch of different variants.
I had something, actually, I would say, for this one, the title card was kind of intimidating, and the music.
Yeah, it has a different feel.
The title card is dark blue and black, and the music is kind of evil or ominous.
Yeah. There's definitely something a little more unnerving about this episode.
It scared me as a kid.
Yeah. And I don't think it's intentional, but for whatever reason, when you first hear that first chord of Plankton's little music in this one...
Oh yeah, when it goes down.
That very first chord sounds... It might be the exact same chord, I don't know. But it sounds like the first chord of the song Paralyzer.
Huh.
I think it's Paralyzer.
I mean, Steven Hillenberg was a big music geek.
Yeah. So it hit that and I went right into that song. So...
It's ominous. It's eerie, and Plankton's intimidating.
Yeah.
Well, I know...
Oh,
sometimes. He is sometimes. They undermine it a lot, but he's intimidating sometimes.
he's a lot of fun, though.
The way I've heard him described before, I think something Steven Hillenberg said is like, he's a sci-fi character in like an otherwise normal show. And he allows them to do sci-fi plots. They also, he said something, I've seen someone quote him saying he thinks he's smarter than he is, but he's something about like a small man scheming about stealing next door, stealing the formula next door, or conniving to put out a business across the street, or something like that.
Something like that.
And he's trying to steal a burger recipe.
Yeah.
It's a small plan.
Yeah. Which would never work. Like, even if he got it, that's great. Krabs has it trademarked. What are you going to do?
Assuming Krabs doesn't, it's still like, Mr. Krabs is still going to cook it.
We know he does, because it comes out later.
Okay, later. Okay, Plankton sues Mr. Krabs for slipping and falling later.
Yeah. Yeah, but in, what is it? It's not Crab. The one where Plankton pretends to be Krabs. like SpongeBob clearly states that
That is the proprietary property of the Krusty Krab.
it's copyrighted and trademarked.
Yeah, it is. Mr. Krabs does have the trademark.
So he is very much. He couldn't sell it even if he wanted, because Krabs could just sue him for copyright.
Okay, he could make a very similar burger.
Yeah. No, he couldn't, because it would be stolen from it. There are laws against it. Like, there's nothing. If he recreated it himself, then there's nothing. There's not a lot Krabs could do if it was similar enough. But
Yeah, there are specifically laws of if you accidentally invent the same thing,
Yeah.
it's not illegal.
yeah,
If you can prove that you had not had information prior.
there's a reason why emulators are illegal.
Okay, in the stakes of this episode, assuming he got it to his place, he wins.
Yeah,
As far as SpongeBob's concerned, at least.
yeah.
Like, this was a life and death matter to SpongeBob. But it was over a burger recipe.
So we do. You mentioned it earlier. There's the golden spatula that Plankton pulls out.
This
of
is
his
the
ass.
first appearance of a golden spatula. Yeah, and literally out of his ass.
He keeps it in his secret compartment, his asshole.
Look, I thought we were a family-friendly podcast.
I mean, we've stated before that we are not. That we will use language.
Well, yes. I think we did in the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, we've never claimed to be family friendly.
I'm just cutting to that, God, what is that line? Oh, God, I can't think of it. There's a Simpsons line about this being a family picture, a family network.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Plankton pulls the spatula out, and he says, "Shing, sparkle, sparkle."
Yeah.
That is charming as hell.
He also drools a lot.
He drools a lot in this episode.
And I noticed, after SpongeBob drops him and runs away, if you're looking at Plankton, he has his shadow, but his shadow only casts in the drool. Once it gets beyond, it just goes away.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and the record player also does the same thing. Where there's, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a reflection, but it's a drop shadow.
Probably someone somewhere got a little confused with what to do for that. Because it's also a dark scene.
Yeah.
I do like, we get to see Plankton kind of large there. When SpongeBob's running and he's like laughing maniacally with the record player. The way the shot is framed makes him look large.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I liked the first appearance of Plankton because we first see him losing, but he's got a charm to him, he's got a charisma. When he's sitting there in SpongeBob's hand talking to them, we see he trips up a couple times, but like he's smooth.
Yeah. And that was one of the lines we were thinking about doing this episode.
Yeah.
It was a lot of dialogue.
It was, but Plankton had the charm to, and he ate the scenery in a couple different scenes.
He did.
Like, he mugged the camera anytime he could. Like, SpongeBob turns and looks at him inside his head, and Plankton, like, raises his eyebrow at him like, yeah. Like, it's me.
Is this the only episode where SpongeBob's mattress has flower designs on it?
Yes, it is. That's on the trivia page.
Really?
Yeah. The only time.
Because I always see that and go, that's such a weird look for his mattress.
It's the only time.
It stands out.
It does.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, we don't see them at... Well, we'd see them at night a lot early on, but this is kind of the first time.
Yeah.
We see everybody at night. And we were supposed to see Squidward naked. We were seeing inside Patrick's house, and we saw SpongeBob sleeping at night. They hadn't drawn a lot of this before, so they didn't know what they were doing.
I did notice back in the Krusty Krab, when the Krabby Patty is running out the door, it cuts to SpongeBob yelling to Mr. Krabs and Squidward standing like there, and he only has 2 legs. They drew him like differently than they normally do when he's in the wide shot.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So, because normally you can see like him standing with all his legs together, and this time,
Yeah, that's it. His default pose has all 4 legs kind of together.
Yeah, it was different this time. But there was also one thing I noticed in this episode.
Okay.
There was a little animation tick in here, if you noticed. After SpongeBob has been taken over, he goes to put on his clothes. Did you notice what happens with that?
What happened?
Right before it shoots back, his tie changes black.
Yeah, it says that on the trivia page.
This is the first black tie episode.
Yeah, it says the next one is Rockabye Bivalve.
Yep. That's the iconic one that I always, when I think of black tie, is Rockabye Bivalve. But this,
See, I don't catch stuff like that as easily. I did not notice his tie change color.
yeah, it's red through most of it, and then it's just black for like one frame.
SpongeBob is apparently the show of when they run out of the correct color, they go to black.
Well, that's what everyone does, because everyone has so much more black, because it's the
outline color, the drawing color.
You have to have it, so you always have extra.
Fair.
So, and anytime you run out, you just grab the black one. It'll be fine. We don't have money to go get more right now.
Yeah, and it's not only worth it for one frame or scene.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did, as a kid, I would always be a nerd when he's in Squidward's house and rolls his eyes.
Yes, that part was scary as a kid to me.
That laughing with that image was always a little odd.
Yeah, Plankton's a little intimidating.
A little bit.
They undermine a lot. They love to undermine Plankton's intimidation, but he is intimidating at times.
But what it is it's the darkness and the music that really sells it.
Plankton's theme is eerie. It's ominous,
good.
And it's mature. It's kind of like a jazz, but like dark.
Yeah.
I love it, and I love that he carries around his own theme music.
I love that. Do you think we could get a very overly dramatic vinyl with a child's music album on the other side?
We could definitely commission one.
Yeah. But I just think that'd be very funny to have, and then just leave it out and see if people ever just like, like not leave it on the record player, but just insert the vinyl into a thing and just have it be the first one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, throw on some music, just whichever one, and hope they pull that one. And
that would be it. Rockabye ABCs.
Just see which side they get, and then the other side. Just mess with people. I love doing stuff like that.
I need to 3D print a tiny record player, like Plankton sized. He carries that around, and I don't know where or how.
This episode actually has what might be the first screw the audience joke.
Oh yeah.
Possibly the first screw the audience joke I've ever seen. It's when he's walking, "This is my lab," and it's just a dog.
It is a video of a live-action blonde lab.
Yeah. I loved that joke as a kid. So that one...
I remember seeing that at 6 or 7, this episode, and not knowing what lab was there. Like, I knew Dexter's lab, so when he said, "This is my lab," and it showed a dog, I legitimately remember not knowing, what?
I think I always got it, which is why I love the joke.
As a 6 or 7, I did not know a lab was a breed of dog. It's weird remembering that.
We got one. We got one story now.
Not a story, an anecdote.
I mean, that's what this is supposed to be.
Well, yeah. But, this is kind of a meme, too. I've seen memes of 1% evil.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen that before. So I've seen people reference it.
Yeah. We have, we also know that Plankton is in the business of illicit substances.
Oh, yeah? Seaweed?
It's 50% sea, 50% weed.
I've seen that online.
It's illegal.
I've seen that online. 50% sea and 50% weed. And that one was definitely intentional. Yeah. They knew what they were doing with that joke.
It's a dumb joke, but I enjoy it.
It is, but that was for the adults or probably for teenagers.
Then the 1% evil, 99% hot gas.
Yeah.
That one's a good, like, capstone joke.
Well, he's full of hot air.
Yeah. We also have one of probably the most iconic shot of the Krabby Patty.
Yeah, the live-action Krabby Patty. This is probably the first time they did that, and a lot of the time after, like, anytime we're seeing the Krabby Patty be built or discussed, it's live-action half the time.
Yeah. And anytime I go to, like, we need a live-action Krabby Patty, it's that one. It's that one or the training.
Sounds like a lot of...
Yeah. But that's the one I always think of that's just like tilted at a slight angle and spinning.
Yeah, when we see them build it, it does not look good either.
Yeah. And the one SpongeBob is holding does not look appetizing. And then they cut to that one, which looks really appetizing.
It does not match either.
No.
They are not very similar.
No.
So I keep harping on it, but like I get a lot of Sideshow Bob kind of energy from Plankton. He's more I went to college,
yeah.
but he's more educated than he uses vocabulary, protozoa, and like 5 or 6 other larger words.
He probably used a bunch of words that most kids heard from SpongeBob.
Yeah, I had it in my head when we were. I can't remember what he said, but he'll go out of his way to use excessively long words to describe simple things, and it's just to show off.
Mediocre and pretentious. I definitely heard that from SpongeBob first.
Yeah, and it's Plankton uses those words and with a deeper voice than the other characters have. I very get, but they undermine him the same way Sideshow Bob. All that, and he's got comically large feet, got the pie in the face. He's a children's broadcast sidekick, and I think they have a lot of similar energy. And Sideshow Bob, the deeper voice and educated. Like I get a similar energy.
So I do have one note that I skipped over earlier. Do you think you could catch a fairy with a jellyfishing net?
I think you could. I think you could if it flies and has wings.
But jellyfish don't fly or have wings.
No, but they are using a net.
That's a jellyfishing net.
How big are jellyfish? How big are fairies?
That depends. They can change.
What if you catch them in the fish form with a net?
Alright.
I don't know. Like, there's just a charm to the early episodes. I don't know when we're gonna hit one that doesn't have the charm.
Mystery.
I wouldn't be shocked if I haven't watched that intentionally. Haven't watched that in years. I might be surprised.
It's been probably about 3 years since we watched that one last.
Let me see if I have any other notes real quick.
Yeah, because I haven't managed to go through every single one of my notes. Yes, we had no notes for Plankton. It's a good episode, but just...
So I was just going to add again, they mix in humor a lot. Like, this is a creepier episode. It scared me as a kid. Yeah. When SpongeBob's possessed, he's not controlling his body, he walks through the walls, he talks to Squidward in a voice that's not his. It was creepy as a kid. But they always throw in jokes.
I don't know if you caught it when we were watching it, but when they walked into the chum bucket and SpongeBob goes,
it's empty.
Don't remind me. I audibly laughed.
It's funny, and it's funny as an adult.
It's just such a throwaway line that it's funny, but it's not supposed to be like overly funny.
No, but it is comedic. Well, it's like the high chair thing. Like, he's sitting there debating or like bargaining with SpongeBob.
You know what I want? A booster seat, hot dog.
Like it's to lighten the mood.
Yeah,
because he's walking alone at night. Runs into the main villain, bargaining, and it's that.
At night.
Yeah, it's the little stuff. At night, yeah.
At night.
But, like, they always mix in humor, and then I was going to say, it's, what he throws out the line, this is the last thing I have, is he throws out the line, what kind of friend are you anyways, to Plankton? Because Plankton called them friends early on. And it's like, to me, that made me instantly think of later, fun.
Yeah.
I wonder if that kind of... Because after this, they were thinking, when can we work him in again?
Yeah.
And I don't even think that's the next Plankton episode. I think the one where...
Fun is... I think it's late season 1?
It is season 1. For He's a Jolly Good... Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking that had to inspire that line. Or like that line of thought. Plankton walks up and says, hey, friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'd love for my birthday? Like, that's kind of his thing.
We're friends, right? No.
Right?
You could say we're acquaintances, right?
No. Well, we're both invertebrates.
I love the. You could call us acquaintances, right? No.
I saw you for the first time earlier today.
Like, we aren't acquaintances.
Like, I love it when Plankton's not muscling anybody. He has to, outsmart bargain charisma.
Yeah. I think the next, Plankton episode is Walking Small, actually.
Yeah, I could see it. Where he tricks SpongeBob into demolishing a beach.
Yeah. Another great episode.
It is.
We'll get to that one.
Yeah.
Well,
that's all I got.
Yeah, we're getting to the end. Next time, we'll be taking a look at the episodes 90 Nautical Neighbors and Boating School. One of my favorite Season 1 episodes. And then another one that I forget exists sometimes.
Really?
I like 90 Nautical Neighbors. It's one of the more forgettable episodes of Season 1.
I always thought that episode was hilarious.
It's a very good episode. Every once in a while I'll go, 90 Nautical Neighbors, which one is that? Oh, the soda episode. It's like...
I always...
paired with Boating School.
You mentioned that episode, and the first image in my head is them inflated, and then Squidward walking to his house, unlocking the door, and there's no house.
I let them into my home, and they destroyed the place.
I swear I think that's the first time I've seen that gag of, the door frame and door standing, and there's nothing else. And SpongeBob does that a couple times.
Well, with that preview out of the way, this is just a reminder of your episode... I blanked on the word. Clues, that's the word. Yeah, it's late.
It is late for us.
We live streamed the new SpongeBob game for 3.5 hours earlier today, and
my
now
throat
we're doing
hurts.
this.
My throat hurts.
So, here's your clues from the episode. You have stupid, peas, and music note. And we will be revealing that next time. Thanks for watching. Or listening. I'm used to saying watching for everything, but this is an audio podcast.
It is.